What happens when love becomes a ledger, and every sacrifice is weighed against gratitude? For years, Ellen had poured her heart into raising her son, Mark, and later, his children. She'd given up her career, her hobbies, her quiet evenings, all to be the ever-present mother and grandmother. But when Mark's demand for daily babysitting pushed her to her limit, her refusal sparked a confrontation that would unravel everything she thought she knew about family. Ellen was 58, her hands worn from years of nurturing first Mark, then his two daughters, Lily and Mia. After Mark's divorce, she'd stepped in without hesitation, babysitting 5 days a week while he rebuilt his life. Her cozy home became a second haven for the girls, filled with crayons, bedtime stories, and her endless patience. But the weight of it grew heavier each month. Her garden wilted, her book club dwindled to a memory, and her own dream-soft painting of traveling faded into the background. When Mark asked her to take on daily care, including weekends, to accommodate his new job, something in Ellen snapped. "No," she said, her voice steady but trembling. "I need time for myself." Mark's face hardened. "Selfish," he spat, his words slicing through her. "After everything you've had handed to you, you can't do this for your own grandkids?" Ellen stood frozen, his accusation echoing in her mind. Handed to her? She'd given up her teaching job to raise him alone after his father left. She'd scrimped to buy his first car, stayed up nights helping with homework, and later, poured her savings into his wedding. Handed to her? The words burned. For days, Ellen wrestled with guilt. Was she selfish? The girls' laughter still echoed in her home, but so did Mark's words. Then, an unexpected visitor shifted her perspective. Mrs. Carter, her old neighbor, stopped by with a tin of cookies. At 75, she was vibrant, her eyes sparkling as she spoke of her recent painting classes. "Ellen," she said, leaning forward, "I spent my life saying yes to everyone else. When I finally said no, I found myself again." Her words were a quiet revelation, a mirror to Ellen's own buried desires. That night, Ellen made a decision. If Mark saw her love as a transaction, she'd rewrite the terms. She stopped babysitting entirely. She packed up the toys, the extra sippy cups, the spare clothes she'd bought for the girls. She canceled the streaming subscriptions she'd paid for Mark's household, stopped covering their grocery runs, and even sold the old minivan she'd kept just in case they needed it. Each act felt like reclaiming a piece of herself, though it came with a pang of loss. The girls' drawings still hung on her fridge, a reminder of what she was stepping back from. Mark noticed. He called, his voice a mix of shock and anger. "You're punishing us? For what?" Ellen took a breath, her heart heavy but clear. "I'm not punishing you," she said. "I'm giving you the chance to understand what I've given, and I'm giving myself the chance to live." She hung up, tears streaming, but her resolve held. Weeks passed. Ellen enrolled in a painting class, her fingers relearning the joy of brushstrokes. She revived her garden, coaxing roses back to life. Yet, the silence from Mark and the girls ached. One evening, as she sat sketching by the window, a small knock broke the quiet. Lily stood at the door, clutching a crumpled drawing. "Grandma, are you mad at us?" she asked, her eyes wide. Ellen knelt, pulling her close. "Never at you, sweetheart." Mark appeared behind her, his face softer now. "I didn't realize how much you were carrying," he said. "I'm sorry. It wasn't perfect, but it was a start." Ellen invited them in, not as a caregiver, but as family, on equal terms. She'd taken back what she'd given not out of spite, but to teach them, and herself, the value of her own heart. "Yindi,"